Hey everyone, welcome to Real Estate Investing Texas. This is the second video of our channel, and today we're talking property analysis. We're going to run through the numbers and do a case study of a one-bed, one-bath condo, one of my personal investment properties down on the beach in Galveston, Texas. We're going to talk about the income, how we decided what we thought we were going to make on the property, what we actually made on the property last year, and then we're going to talk about all of the expenses we included in the pro forma and making an educated decision for this investment. Keep in mind, as we go through this investment property today and we analyze the numbers, all of our expenses are specific to the Galveston market and may be different for the market that you're in. If you have questions about the market you're in or about why we chose certain numbers, go ahead and drop us a comment and I'll do my best to answer your questions. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the numbers. Okay, so here we are looking at the pro forma or cash flow analysis that I did for my one bed, one bath condo in Galveston. First, let's start off with the offer price. Ours was $127,000 and the listing price was $132,000. Could we have offered less? Sure, but this was actually our first investment property, and emotions probably got the best of us when we saw the property, we knew we wanted it, and it was going to make money for us. So we went in pretty high, hoping to make this an easy process, and our offer was actually accepted on the first try. Next, let's talk about the revenue. So revenue can be tough for short-term rentals, but let me show you how we decided, or tell you how we decided on this $2,148 per month revenue. First, we looked at AirDNA. AirDNA software, they are paying me in no way to say this, but they worked pretty well and they were pretty accurate for us this time around. They told us to expect about $137 a night, and they told us to expect to book roughly 50% of the year. And that's actually about what we did if we would have had the full year to book. So to verify those numbers, we actually went to Airbnb and searched through properties in the same complex as ours as a traveler, and we were able to see what people were charging and what kind of booking rates they were getting throughout the next 6 months to try and verify whether or not AirDNA was accurate. Turns out after our first year it was pretty accurate, and we did make close to what was predicted. So keep in mind here that also that $2,148, you're not actually going to make that every month. We do have a busy season and a slow season in Galveston, Texas, as many vacation spots do. So we're going to book out almost 100% of the summer for increased rates, more like 150, 160 a night. And then as we go into the winter months where we may get some snowbird travelers, we may rent out an entire month for a discount at $60 or $70 a night, which drops our nightly rate but still brings in income. So I can tell you October, November, we saw about $1,200 in revenue a month, which is very different from 2,148, but because we had made extra money during the summer, it all evens out. So that's how we do that number right there. In the event you had any kind of other income, let's say you allow pets for an extra fee, some people do early check-in or late check-out fees, you could put that right here and even maybe increase your revenue a little bit. We actually are pretty loose on how we handle our early check-ins and late checkouts. We don't charge for those. We hope that by offering them for free, we can actually get a few extra 5-star reviews. So that's how we handle that. Now let's go to the expenses. So for us, property management, I have it listed here as $41.50. That's because every year I pay VRBO the $499 subscription fee so that I don't have to pay fees during the year outside of their 3% credit card fee that they put on the owner. Other than that, I self-manage the property, so we have no property management fees to another person. There are a few other expenses with property management that go into how I manage the property. So first you see here is beyond pricing. Oh, let me fix the screen there. We have beyond pricing there and Smart B&B. Smart B&B is what I use for automated messaging. Every time a guest books, it auto sends messages to them, and at a predetermined time before their check-in, it also sends them a check-in message with directions to the unit and how to get in the unit. Beyond pricing is a 1% charge of your revenue. And the reason we use that is it's a dynamic pricing tool, and it increases and decreases our prices based on need through the year to try and maximize our profit. For repairs and maintenance, we budget about $50 a month, and that was based off of recommendations from other owners, and it actually did hold true for us this year. The next one here, let's talk about HOT taxes. HOT taxes are Galveston specific. So this is 9% of your gross revenue that Galveston charges us to be allowed to exist and to rent as short-term rentals. The hotels and the short-term rentals both have to pay this tax, so it's a level playing field for everybody involved with tourism on the island. We actually aren't that mad about paying that because we don't have to battle the government every year on being allowed to exist like you might see in some other cities. Property taxes, $200 a month, and that is straight off of the Galveston County Appraisal District website. Wherever you're at, just go to your appraisal district, type in the address in the property search, and it will give you an accurate amount to what your property taxes are going to be for the year or for the past years. Rental property insurance, there are a lot of options for property insurance for your rental property. The company we use, Proper Insurance, they are a little more expensive than everybody else, but we feel that they leave us very well covered. The only thing they don't cover down here in Galveston is windstorm. So we actually had to go to another company for windstorm, and they keep us protected through hurricane season. Then we have our homeowners property association fees. That's a mandatory fee for the management services that we get from the condos and the upkeep of the grounds. We have 2 pools, 2 hot tubs, a tennis court, and a gym that our guests all are allowed to use, and that's the fee we pay for being allowed to use that. For replacement reserves, we don't have anything listed. You could think of this as your CapEx, and the reason why we don't have anything there is we don't have to pay for a roof, and we don't have to pay for anything outside of the condo. The only thing we have that would be a big expense for us in our unit is actually our HVAC system, which I just replaced this year. So this year we budgeted nothing on top of it for new HVAC in the future. That should last us another 10 or 15 years. Utilities are about $40 a month. Again, this is a variable cost. It's going to increase and decrease based on your busy season. So we've seen this as high as $80 or $90 a month in the summer, and then in the winter, if we don't have any bookings, I've seen it as low as $10 or $12. So that's our healthy average there. We also only pay electric at our unit. One thing to look out for and to look into if you're looking at condos is exactly what the HOA is going to pay for you, if anything, and then what you are responsible for paying. Then the big thing with short-term rentals here is the cleaning service. We have the best cleaners on the island, and we love paying them to get us 5-star reviews. We budget about $300 a month for their services. Again, variable cost. Cleaners are going to be very expensive in the summer. And as you have no bookings or less bookings, your costs are going to go down. So that's a pretty good average for us and what we saw. So total monthly expenses there of $1,407.41. That gives us an annual net operating income of $8,887, not including our debt service. So looking down here at our loan, our down payment was almost $32,000. Our loan amount came out to right at $95,000, and we got a 4% interest rate. If we would have waited a year right now, I think I've seen them down around 3.2 to 3.5%, but don't quote me on that. Talk to your local lender. So our initial investment there's right at $35,000 with the closing costs we pay. Annual debt service is $5,413.03. And that gives us a total annual cash flow of $3,474, which is right about a 10% cash-on-cash return. All right, so there you have it. There are the numbers for our 1-bed, 1-bath condo down in Galveston, Texas. And like I said, about a 10% cash-on-cash return with a cash flow there of $3,487. So is that a good deal? Only you can decide. Every investor has to set their own criteria for what their definition of a good deal is. On social media, I see a lot of numbers thrown around. $250 a month, 12% cash-on-cash return. Again, you have to be comfortable with the criteria you're setting for your investment properties. On this deal, we were comfortable with 10%, knowing there might be, call it, a chance to beat the odds by making more money than AirDNA or Airbnb predicted that we might make. So what actually happened in the last year? Well, COVID hit, right? So we actually only got to rent out the unit for 9 out of the 12 months of 2020, and we revenued about $22,500. In the end, our cash flow after all of our expenses looked like it was going to be about $5,000. So we were beating our prediction. However, call it tragedy struck when we had to replace our HVAC system. It was old and we knew that going into this. So all of our cash flow went right back into a brand new HVAC system. So we broke even right at $0. In the end, gained about $1,500 in equity from the principal payment going down from our mortgage payments, which were all covered by renters during the year. So we were out no money out of our pockets, and we're calling that a success. Looking for another property right now while interest rates are low. So there you have it. There's the numbers. If you have any questions about what I talked about in the video today, or any of the expenses we applied, or any of the terms that I used, drop a comment below, and please like and subscribe to our channel and come back and see us. See you next time.